to limit them things just to save the thighs.
So is that why my thighs are rubbing?
I can't take you.
It's like 4 inches of thigh-to-thigh contact.
You don't have no thigh gap?
Girl, no. I was trying to stand there and make one.
High school, I don't think.
Look, I was there trying to make one. I was standing, turning my legs, trying to like, okay, if I twist my ankles this way, I have a gap. But as it is in real life, they like this. How you doing? So Drew, I am 42 and I believe I'm starting to get a muffin top.
Oh no.
All right, so Sunday I had on this skirt.
Okay.
And it had like a wide elastic band. And as I was sitting in the car, I just felt all kind of flesh just kind of flapped over the waist.
Not flesh.
And I'm sitting there like pinching. Like, am I literally pinching flesh and fat right now? Like, am I? As I'm pinching it literally right now. So I said, okay, time to get crack-a-lacking.
There's something to say about turning 40 and just your body's metabolism, it literally stops. It slows down. Like if you're not doing anything to get that heart rate up, I mean, your metabolism at 40 has already slowed down and it's not doing anything for you. It's working against you, actually.
Right.
For me, it was like right before 40. Because I made a pledge to myself. I was like, I will not go into my 40s not feeling my best self and not looking my best self. So 2 years before I turned 40, I got into the best shape of my life and I've been maintaining it ever since. But I have so many friends like you who say, man, it's hard out here in these streets to keep this weight at an appropriate weight number. You know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing to, keep maintaining it? First thing you got to do is you got to get to that weight that you want to maintain. So if you're not there yet, we're going to start off by telling you how to get there. So,
time out. I have a question. So what if you've never been at the weight that you want to maintain?
Ooh. If what I'm getting ready
this ain't the show about that.
This ain't that show. we got to get to
that's a whole topic.
Another show for that.
Right. It's not just the weight on the scale because there's a difference between even fat mass and muscle mass.
Right.
And it's the way you look and feel when you look at yourself in the mirror.
Absolutely.
You feel good about. And so when I sat in the car and started feeling them love handles,
that was your indicator that something
that was my
indicator
done. But I mean, I think I had ones from before, so it's just like going back to looking in the mirror and just saying, okay, I see things changing. Like
2 years before, I realized I got to do something because it's getting out of control. I was not in the best shape. Not in the best shape of my life. I did not like how I looked in clothes. So that goes along with what you said. It's all about what feels good to you and what makes you happy when you look in the mirror, So that's when I knew I had to do something. So let's get into these tips, girl. So here's the first tip. If you need to first get to that weight that you want to maintain, the first thing you want to do is just face your fear. Get on the scale. I know it is hard. I know it is hard to face that truth. But in order for you to do something about that number or to see it move into the direction that you need it to, you got to know your number. You got to get on, know your number, right? Right. So that's the first thing, Destiny. You said you just recently got on this scale, right? So you know your number.
I know my number.
All right. So here's the next tip. Now, for me, when I started out, what I did was I got me a little notebook like this. This is like my actual notebook. Like if I flip through some pages, you're going to see all my business, right? Okay. So the first thing you want to do is put the date. Put that baseline weight number that you just took off the scale. And it's not just about weight, guys. It is also about your body measurements. This is where you get your biggest bang. Get you a tape measure, literally like the one in the picture. That's what I had. I had 2. And you're literally going to measure your waist. And for me, I measure, you know how you have 2 waists? You have your top part of your waist that's a little bit small. And then you have that waist that's down there, you know, where it gets real wide. Measure both of them suckers. You're going to see results. I measured my left thigh and my right thigh. I've measured my left arm and my right arm and my hips. That is where I got the biggest gains, because it's not just about the pounds. Because let me tell you, if you stay disciplined and consistent, you're going to lose the pounds every week. You might lose 1, you might lose 2, you know, and don't let that mess you up either. 1 pound is good. It's really, you only supposed to safely lose about 2 pounds a week.
Okay.
But the biggest bang is going to come in them inches around that waist, them inches around them hips. And when you see those numbers going down, I mean, that was my biggest motivator. That's what kept me going. So that's the first thing you got to do, folks. Get you a log, put your weight and all of your measurements in there. Okay. Face that fear first. Tip number 3, guys, it's all about the food. Weight loss is 80% diet and 20% exercise. I promise you, if you get your food right, you're going to be good. Like the exercises is just going to be that cherry on top. But if you can maintain that meal prepping, you got to meal prep. Anybody who wants to lose weight and they try and do it without meal prepping, you're not going to succeed, because you're going to get hungry. And what you're going to do? What's the first thing you do when you get hungry?
You're going to go to McDonald's, because that's what I did today. And even though I went to McDonald's, if I have to go or stop by a fast food place, I'll try to find the food with the least amount of calories, or what I think is then the healthiest. And the good thing about at least McDonald's, I don't know if all the other fast food restaurants do this, but they'll literally say like how many calories. So for me, it was like the fish fillet, because it was like 360 calories versus getting even a chicken sandwich or a burger, which is going to be double or triple that amount. And sometimes what I do, I literally will order a kids meal for myself. You know, if I really need something that's fat, I'm gonna grab that little kids meal. So again, what you're talking about, like the diet, decreasing your size, your portion sizes, is half the battle. So I can eat those nuggets and fries, but it's gonna be like 10 fries versus 50.
Right, exactly. I totally agree with you. But also, what's really good about the food, making sure that you meal prep, you got to insert fruits and veggies. And even for like dinner, I do a meat and a veggie. I don't do a whole lot of starches. Now on Sunday, we're going to have some mac and cheese probably, you know, or some homemade mashed potatoes on Sunday. And we can talk about treating yourself, you know, every now and then. Also, guys, if you are a sweets lover, you know, I like sweets too. You got to limit them. And I know it's hard to say, but let me give you a sweet tip on how you can do it. So when I first started out, that was my biggest problem, were sweets, right? So instead of me just snatching them away from me like that, like automatically, and just, you know, being in a shell shock, what I did, I started reading labels, and I wouldn't buy anything that had more than 12 grams of sugar per serving. So that already brought my sugar level down. And then if I ate something with sugar, I only had it once a day. And then eventually I was able to just wean myself from that. Like I didn't even have a desire for it anymore, because the fruit, because I had increased it, was doing the trick for me. Now you're not going to be able to do that automatically, but you can eventually wean yourself off that way. Just read those labels. Anything 10, 12 grams more in sugar more than that, you don't want to put that in. But there's lots of snacks you can have that have about 10 grams of sugar that will be just as satisfying as those Oreo cookies. Now, if I eat an Oreo, I'm gonna eat one. Sometimes I might eat 2, but they're so sweet because I don't have that sweet taste anymore. It's so sweet now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I eat 3 or 4 or 5.
That's why we're working on that muffin, because with all this stuff you telling me is all because of that muffin sitting up there right now. So I'm getting to the bottom. We're doing a root cause analysis on you.
I think part of getting older, your hormones begin to change.
They do.
Cravings. Because I remember my mom back in the day, she would sit there and eat some of the crazy stuff. Like she would sit there and just eat. This not gonna sound gross to say it, but she would sit there with flour and just spoon and eat just flour. But her body was craving something.
It was craving probably some mineral that's in flour.
It was something. And I'm just saying that, like, for me, it's sugar now. Like I wasn't really growing up, I wasn't a sweet person. Like I could eat it, but I'd rather savory, salty snacks. Now it is the sugar.
Yeah.
Girl, I would go in there and crack open a bag of chocolate chips that are meant for cookies.
Oh Lord.
Baking the cookie. Like if I get a sugar craving, it'd be like, what in here has the sugar?
Right.
So like you're saying, we have to also be aware that as we're getting older, our body is going through all of these different changes.
Absolutely.
That have an impact on our eating habits. And
I think
awareness is also very key to making the appropriate changes.
Yep. Because I know it seems like because I'm a French fry lover. It seems like whenever I order French fries and I eat them, girl, they go straight to them thighs. Child, it's all about them thighs. Like I have to limit them things just to save the thighs.
So is that why my thighs are rubbing? I was looking at it the other day. I was like, wait a minute, it's about 4 inches. It's like 4 inches of side-to-side contact.
You don't have no thigh gap?
Girl, no. I was trying to stand there and make one.
High school, I don't think.
Look, I was there trying to make one. I was standing, turning my legs, trying to like, okay, if I twist my ankle this way, I have a gap. But as it is in real life, they like this. How you doing?
Please stop. I can't take it.
Girl, this is the truth.
This is real right here, folks. Everybody could be like, yup. All right, let's move on. So bottom line is it's all about the food, the meal prepping. Destiny, you told me that you use smaller plates. You know, I use small plates in my house. Talk to the people about your small plates.
Girl, when you turn 40, just go ahead and invest in some smaller dinnerware.
Saucers. Little
saucers. Literally the saucers that nobody really even uses that comes with that dish set.
Yep.
You know, that China set, you have like the big plates and the little saucer that no one really uses it. That becomes your dinner plate. When you're dishing your food, it'll look like you have a lot, but it's a smaller plate.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
He'll say, what you gonna do with that little bit of food? But once you train your stomach back to its original size, not like just as consume. But once you train it back to its original size, you can eat a small little piece of meatloaf like this and some veggies and be fine.
Yeah, and I would agree. I would agree that. And at the beginning, it might seem weird because you're accustomed to eating a certain size. But you're right. Like I have found now, it doesn't take much to fulfill me.
Nope.
Unless I'm stressed out.
Right. Right. And that's stress eating. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And then also eating dinner early. Like for me, I try not to eat anything or put anything in my mouth past 8:00 p.m.
I try to eat dinner by 6. Yeah. I really, and sometimes now I'm trying to have a sit down by 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then that way, like you're saying, for us, by 6:30ish, I'm finished eating for the night. Especially if I'm feeling fulfilled. But you got to go to bed early. Because if you eat early,
no problems doing that.
But I'm just saying, like, if you eat early and then you staying up till 11, 12 o'clock in the night, you're going to get hungry again. Now you're eating a whole nother plate of food or eating the snacks that you're not supposed to eat late at night. And that's going to contribute to the weight gain. Because I know if I stay up and I'm working on something late night, I definitely get here and I get hungry. But then the problem is I'm not even eating food. I'm not eating like cooked food or making like a little sandwich. Like I will go and make a dinner plate out of junk, like whatever might be in the house. So if there's chips, there's popcorn, I'm just grabbing for stuff to eat to fulfill this hunger that has crept up at 11 o'clock in the night because I literally just ate 4 or 5 hours ago. So go to bed.
All about exercise. So at some point, even if you can't start with exercising right off the bat, like if you want to just get that food situation squared away first, feel free. But at some point, you are going to want to add in some type of exercise, and all exercise is good. Now, if you're a walker and you just want to walk, that is perfect. Go for a walk a day, but make it so that you build yourself up to walking 30, 45 minutes to an hour a day to make it count, right? Mm-hmm. And if you like to run, go for a run. Now, I know that there's an app called From Couch to 5K. Like they will literally teach you how to run like a 5K. And for some people, if you're not used to running and you need something to help you build up your, stamina to run longer, that is a great tool for you to use. Okay, but yeah, cool. just start small. Tip number 5 is accountability.
Let's not talk about this, Drew.
Accountability. 2 things I want to say real quick before Destiny be ready to blast me. So the first accountability is making sure that you go in and reweigh yourself. Now, here's the thing, guys, for me, and this might work for you too. What worked for me is weighing myself once a week. And you know why? The reason is because I meal prepped. So I knew exactly what went into my body for that full week. So I would eat those things that I prepped, and I knew what they were. And every Friday morning, I would weigh myself, just my weight, not all the measurements yet, just my weight. I would weigh myself every Friday morning to see my results from the week. Now, it's going to tell you 2 things. 1, if the foods that you meal prep this week agree with your body and gave you a great weight loss, or 2, if those foods did not agree with you, you know not to incorporate those foods back in as you're still trying to lose, right? So that's why it's so important. Now, as far as your measurements, like your hip, waist, left and right arm, left and right thigh, I did those once a month. I did not do those once a week. I did them once a month. I promise you, you're going to see results, guys. And those inches, you're going to also see those inches come off, like when you put your pants on or put your shorts on, you'll see that you got a little bit more room than you did before. So make sure that you are logging your results. You always want to know your number, because it's going to determine what you put in your mouth next. Because if that scale gave you a good number, you lost those 2 pounds, then you're like, okay, I got this. I'm keep going. But if you see that you maybe gained or something, that's gonna give you pause, and you can say, okay, I need to do this better.
Right. That makes sense.
And then you want to talk about the accountability partner?
So Drew was supposed to be my accountability partner, y'all.
Here we go.
Go ahead and tell me what you did. She left me high and dry.
No, I didn't.
Every morning she getting up, working out.
I texted her. She told me to text her every morning. And guys, I did for about 3 weeks to a month. And then, her replies got less and less. I was like, okay, she ain't even replying no more. So I'm going to let her just lay in the bed, I guess. And I would just get on up and do what I had to do.
It didn't happen like that, y'all.
Yes, it did.
It didn't happen like that. Drew left me in the dust. For the record,
I didn't do that.
Drew left me in the dust.
No, I didn't.
But no, I came to Drew. But the point being, I knew I needed accountability. I came to Drew probably like 3 months ago, 3.5 months ago. And I was just like, Drew, I need you to help me, because I knew that you worked out. And I was just like, okay, if she's on a regular schedule, that'll kind of help motivate me. And yeah,
I did my best.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, Drew Fletcher, you back on accountability duty, but I'll forgive you.
Thank you, friend. That's what friends do. Forgiveness is everything. God wants us to forgive. But I do want to say one last thing about this for the people. So even though we talked about the food and all that, it's okay sometimes to treat yourself too. You get a meal. So for me, it's Friday. And we know that Friday night is Chick-fil-A night, baby. Woo, girl. I love my Chick-fil-A, and I get the fried chicken too and the fries.
Yep. But they're not a sponsor.
They're not a sponsor. And I get me a cookie. That's how you treat yourself. One meal. And then Saturday, I'm back, I'm back on my grind,
On Saturday?
Well, yeah, you don't need to eat a bad meal every day of the weekend. No, that's gonna kill it. Okay, glad you said that. So you're working hard during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, you eat that meal out. Saturday, if you don't get back on it, you're gonna kill everything you did Monday through Thursday getting to this point. So you gotta get back on it on Saturday. That's why I say don't kill a whole day just eating bad. Choose a meal.
That's part of the problem. The muffin has muffinized.
I don't even think that's a word.
It is muffinized.
Not muffinized.
Because you're right. Like I'll think, Friday, Saturday is my day. But then Sunday becomes my day, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday becomes my day too. So
don't listen to Destiny, people. She gonna do better.
I am gonna do better. We're gonna have a follow-up on this video, and I am going to do better. And I'm going to literally do my measurements.
Okay.
I'm gonna post it in the comments.
Okay.
And we're gonna get started. We can keep this going on even in this thread, like our weekly updates, and we can encourage each other.
That's right.
And all that good stuff. So yes.
Sounds good, friend. Do you see this Florida tan that I have though? Look at this.
Girl, you see how this editing?
This Florida sun ain't no joke. All right, there you have it, folks. So in order to maintain a healthy body weight, you have to first get to that weight. Then it's all about your food, guys. Just make smart choices. Meal prep, add in your fruits and veggies, your protein, limit your carbs. It's okay to have them every now and then. Just limit them as much as you can. Try not to do a whole lot of snacking if you're going to eventually add in some exercise. And that is how you're going to maintain this healthy weight in your 40s and get a good night's sleep.
Yes.
Hit the like button, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Let us know if any of these tips were interesting to you enough to where you want to get started to help maintain your body weight in your 40s.
And don't forget to share this video. Now say bye.
Bye.